I really didn't even think I was going to make a video on this, but I really feel like everything's coming to an end very soon, so I figured I might as well just do it. But I'm sure if any of you have been on social media in the past week, we all know what's going on with Kris right now. But basically, he's just been texting a bunch of minors really weird things and admitting to liking very weird drawings. But I've already went over all that. I want to talk about how Kris has finally said something over on Twitter. Essentially, all she's doing is just apologizing for what she did in the past and that it wasn't her intent. And this is kind of like just the most basic thing you can do. An apology isn't really going to do much. Like, I don't know what else she can do, but you can't just apologize for something that's going to leave trauma on somebody for the rest of their life. This is basically the same thing as just going into a hospital and unplugging a random person's lifeline and then apologizing to their family. That's something only a psychopath would do. It's not like you just went up to someone and called him a poopy face and then said, oopsie, that's my fault. I didn't mean to say that. She then goes on to say that her and Mr. Beast mutually decided to step away from social media and all that so that she can focus on her family and her mental health. Like, yeah, the mental health I get. I mean, she 100% needs to go to a mental hospital and get professional help. But this stuff with family is just a bluff. If she really cared about her family, she would have did that a long time ago instead of leaving her kid without a father figure. And I'm pretty sure she left her wife so that she'd have a bigger take in Mr. Beast's company. But after that, she says, I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations at Lava GS has vocally supported that they are false. And if you aren't aware, there has been way more than just the one kid. There's been like 3, I think. The other 2 just wanted to stay anonymous. So it looks like she's only bringing up the one person that came out because he's the only person that said that everything is false. But since the other people aren't defending her, she's just not going to bring him up. But then she goes on to make a third post saying about the exact same thing she said in the first post. Like, what was the point? But then goes on to make another one saying to lump these 2 factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. Now, I'm sure by this she means she can't change what she did in the past, but yes, you can change who you were. You can definitely, like I said already, seek professional help and change. But she goes on to make one final post saying, I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I have stepped away. Which again, I feel like she did not make the decision to step away. I feel like she was fired because of all of this. And back to one of the videos I showed yesterday, one of the dudes that worked at Mr. Beast said that the only reason Kris wasn't gone already is because she threatened to take legal action.
They can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much.
So I genuinely almost feel like the tweets that she made almost made her situation worse. Like, she beat around the bush with so many things, left out so many important details, and the worst part is I don't even think she's directly apologized to the victims yet. Like, yeah, she said sorry in mass, apologizing to everyone that this may have affected, but she hasn't directly apologized to the people that she was saying this nasty stuff to. Like, I don't know what chord she was trying to strike with this post, but it was probably A minor. Sorry, I had to make that joke. Yeah. But again, in all seriousness, there was even more messages that got leaked right after I posted my video yesterday. Okay, now this is like a 40-second video, but I'll go frame by frame and explain everything. So here you can see the kids just asking how the video is going. Kris then says good, and then she says, I barely got screen time. I wish you could see me more. Which is a little weird. I don't know why she's saying she wants a 14-year-old kid to see her more, especially with that emoji right after it. And then right after, the kid just says, I wish I was in the video. And then Kris says, me too, it's too soon though. I could introduce you to everyone when you get a little older. So here he's basically acknowledging that he knows he's a minor. And here as well, he says, your birthday is coming up, isn't it? He says, yeah, December 2nd. He asks him how old he's turning and he says 14. So Kris then goes to ask him what he wants exactly for his birthday. He will give him anything. So the kid, he just wants to play Fortnite, whatever, have fun. Hey, slow down, no, not that kind of fun. You know what I'm talking about. Kris is the one that wants to have that kind of fun. And then goes on to say, you don't want anything expensive expensive for your birthday. I could spoil you. I mean, if you ask me, this is literally manipulation 101. Like, literally every kidnapping movie, this is how it starts. They'll have the adult, the weird, creepy dude ask the kid if he wants to buy him some ice cream or chocolate or some gift bag or something. And then as soon as the kid gets there, boom, the kid's never heard from him again. So then the kid, probably just confused, says, I don't know. So Kris says, it's fine, look at my snap. Then I'm assuming the kid does that, goes, looks at the snap, and I'm guessing it's just a picture of Kris sitting at the filming site, because she says, we have been here for a while now. I'm tired. Texting you is the only thing keeping me awake right now. Which, why is a kid your only source of entertainment right now? That's a bit confusing. Which I guess you can argue they're just talking, like nothing crazy is happening, but then he says this.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
In what scenario is it okay as a grown adult to be telling a random 14-year-old kid you love them? And then he says, oh, I meant I love playing Minecraft with you. No, you didn't. How does a 3-word phrase get mixed up with a full-blown sentence? Like, you don't just forget to put 5 whole words in there. Like, he's texting this kid like it's his first middle school crush, and he's gonna confess his feelings, but then backs out last second. And I mean, I guess the kid is in middle school or just getting out of middle school, so it makes sense. But there's also a bunch of stuff going around in the community about people that aren't willing to talk on the topic, or they're being touchy on it. But when the Dr. Disrespect stuff came out, they were all open to expressing their feelings. And the 2 main people right now have been Pokimane and Valkyrae. This is what the both of them said when the Dr. Disrespect stuff was coming out. And then this is what they both said a little after the stuff with Kris came out. Basically, they were both just disgusted by Dr. Disrespect. But then as soon as the stuff with Kris comes out, if not even worse than what Dr. Disrespect did, and I'm not defending Dr. Disrespect in any way, he is still nasty, but basically all they're saying with Kris is that they just need more time to process it. So everybody's saying that they're just being biased on the Kris situation because he is a transformer, and they don't want to speak anything negatively on that certain community because it'll hurt their career, even though there is by far way more evidence on Kris being a weirdo than there is Dr. Disrespect. Now again, I'm not trying to make it look like Dr. Disrespect is any better than Kris, because he is not at all. And here's another video that literally just came out like as I'm making this video. Like, I just almost finished it and then this dude just came out and started saying stuff too. It's like 3 minutes long though, but I'm gonna play the whole thing.
Kris Tyson from MrBeast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Kris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me. Me and him were both initially involved in running Kris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them, as well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. He won a giveaway and Kris invited him after that. And Kris invited me after I saw one of his tweets asking for help setting up a Garry's Mod server for the 10 million subscriber MrBeast video. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different corn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking with him. Not only that, but he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server before he made it public. So when it was just a private server, his little circle of minors. And he would use this NSFW bot to spam different corn images, alongside all these 15-year-olds. He would also frequently call me dad and daddy, as well as the others, which I guess we all kind of just took as a joke at the time. You have to think this is someone who we looked up to at the time, we idolized, we thought was the coolest person in the world, so they couldn't really do any wrong in our eyes. But looking back, I was definitely uncomfortable at being called daddy by a 20-year-old. Even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable. This server later went public and became his official Discord server, but before it did, he had me and Lava spend multiple days scrubbing this Discord server clean of all of the N-words he had sent in it, as well as his friends, as well as deleting the NSFW channels and making sure no one could see that he was spamming corn to minors. This story is so much bigger and runs so much deeper than any of you really realize, so if you want to hear more and you want a part 2, let me know.
I mean, you heard everything he said. I don't know how much I can really explain this, but apparently now he's being accused of unpaid child labor too. And then he said that they had to scrub down that Discord server that had Kris saying a whole bunch of N-words with the hard R, all of the NSFW pictures that he was shoving in front of these minors' faces. Like, it's ridiculous. And here's his Twitter, by the way, if you guys want to go and follow him and keep up to date, because he said that there's way more that we don't know and he might come out and start talking about it. But that is all of the new stuff I could find for now. If you want to comment, let me know what you think. Go right ahead. And if anything else comes out, I'll keep you posted. But for now, that's it. Peace.